Now for at least a few days. It is 8:50 on Sunday morning. Ryan Breton in the News Center Maine weather office. If you're watching this on replay, you can scroll through. What I'm going to do is go through the latest timeline, talk about the totals, because this is a kind of complicated storm and a complicated forecast to plan around. And it all depends on where you live or where you're going, where you work, that kind of thing. And you can also get the latest on our website and mobile app. I just did a brand new blog that has all these graphics in it and everything that we're going to go through here. If you have some questions, feel free to put them in. I'll try to go through and answer, but hopefully this gives a good little idea of what we're expecting. First things first, today is great. We'll show you the weather graphics, and we've got sunshine out there right now, so enjoy it. It's cold. We'll start with a look at the webcams, and you can see that everybody's seeing sun right now. But temperatures this morning in some places were down in the single digits. This afternoon we'll get back into the upper 20s and low 30s. It'll feel a lot better compared to yesterday with a lighter wind. But we already have some cloud cover getting now into southern New England, southern New Hampshire, into Massachusetts. And here's the leading edge of the precipitation working through New York State right now. If you have family and friends who are here after the long holiday weekend, maybe they're hitting the road and heading home. I always used to have to drive on this day back to college. I went to school in Pennsylvania, and driving out of New England on the Mass Pike, I-84, the Sunday after Thanksgiving is a nightmare on any day, any Sunday after Thanksgiving. You add some snow and ice to the mix, which they'll be getting this afternoon. It's going to be a tough travel day out of Maine. In Maine today, if you're just traveling within the state, no weather issues through the day. And even this evening, most places look okay. This storm is coming in two pieces. The first is this warm front that's going to work up from the south. And this really only gets to southern Maine tonight and tomorrow morning. The rest of us have to wait for this low to reach the coast, form a new low, and then move up the Gulf of Maine. And that's what will bring central, eastern, and northern Maine snow. But that doesn't happen until tomorrow night. So while parts of the state get snow tonight, it will not be snowing everywhere tonight and tomorrow morning. Here's just a look at the timeline on when the snow will start. Looks like it starts tonight anywhere from the Portland area south. Maybe around 6 or 7 near the New Hampshire border, and closer to 8 or 9 in Portland. And it should be light, but temperatures will be cold enough that the snow can coat the roads. By tomorrow morning, the time you wake up, some light snow, very light snow possible on the mid-coast, possible in Lewiston, possible in Freiburg. But it really is south of here, down through southern Maine and southern New Hampshire, where the most impacts for tomorrow morning will be. So York County, southern Cumberland County, southern Oxford County, into Carroll County in New Hampshire and the Lakes region, that's where some school delays or cancellations are possible tomorrow morning. I'd say Rumford, Farmington, Rangeley, Augusta, Waterville, Bangor, down east northern Maine, no problems out the door tomorrow morning. You get most of the morning and even a lot of the afternoon in okay in that part of the state tomorrow morning. It takes until late tomorrow, maybe 6, 7, 8, to get the steady snow into Bangor. There could be a few showers before then, but nothing of substance. And then tomorrow night into Tuesday morning to get it into Aroostook County, get it into central Maine around Millinocket, and to get it into Greenville. So this is all about where you live. So that's an overview of the timing. Now here's what the futurecast or future radar looks like. 6 o'clock this evening, clouds for a lot of us, but really not much happening outside of some flurries or some very light snow over western York County and southern New Hampshire. 9 o'clock, same idea. The only snow that we have going on is really Portland west and south. And what's showing up here in Lewiston, I almost doubt will be hitting the ground at 9 o'clock. It's going to be pretty dry, so maybe just some flurries around Lewiston and the steadiest snow, Cumberland, York County, down into New Hampshire. These darker blues you see on the edge of the screen around Manchester and Concord, that'll be 1 inch an hour snow, and that will try to move into York County around midnight. So Sanford, York, Portsmouth, that's where your heaviest snow is overnight. And look at Portland. Portland's right on the edge of it. It may be pretty light much of the night in Portland, so not a ton of accumulation in the city itself. But if you go south, that's where you run into some issues. Central northern Maine, again, no problems overnight, and we'll show you what the radar looks like at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, this really doesn't move north a whole lot. So school cancellations and delays tomorrow morning really only in York County, Cumberland County, down into New Hampshire. I don't see this being a problem in Augusta, Waterville, and Bangor. And Lewiston, it may be one of those situations where you've got to wake up in the morning and see what the conditions are and join us on the morning report. You know, it's just too close to call Lewiston, but even if it is snowing there, I don't think it's snowing that hard. You really have to be in York County and southern New Hampshire for anything hard to be falling tomorrow morning. And I know that for planning purposes, a lot of times superintendents, school superintendents, like to make the call the night before. My advice as a meteorologist in this case would be, if you can wait to make the call until tomorrow morning, wait. Because this is such a fickle storm that it would be a shame to burn a day off if you wake up and nothing fell overnight. And that's how close this type of a situation can be. So my advice would be just wait until tomorrow morning if you can, Portland South, to make the call. But it's probably pretty likely that there will be some snow on the roads, that at least a delay or a cancellation is possible in York County and parts of Cumberland County. If you're watching from Augusta, Waterville, Bangor, Milo, Herman, even Rockland and Bar Harbor, I think you get tomorrow morning in just fine. Through the day tomorrow, it's very light. Off and on light precipitation in southern Maine. And then tomorrow evening, after about 3 o'clock, it looks like it wants to ramp back up again for tomorrow evening's commute. So we'll probably have some steady snow in a lot of western Maine, and this is when it may start to get to Augusta, 3, 4, 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. It shouldn't be crazy heavy, but light to moderate snow, enough to coat up the roads so that tomorrow evening's commute, if roads aren't treated, they'll be slippery. Even in Augusta and Lewiston, and perhaps up to Waterville and Bangor after about 4 or 5 o'clock, where you'll go through the whole day and not have any other issues. There may also be a little bit of sleet that mixes in near the coast. Not a big problem, but that's ice that can ice things up. And when the precipitation's light, it's more likely to be sleet near the coast. And you'll especially see that here over down East Maine as we play into tomorrow night. This is 9 o'clock. There may be some ice for a while, Hancock and Washington counties tomorrow night. Then part 2 comes in overnight tomorrow night. And to me, I'm becoming more convinced that Tuesday morning is the highest impact of this storm for everybody, whether you live in Portland, Bangor, Waterville, Augusta, or northern Maine. I think Tuesday morning is the height of this thing. We get a burst of some snow that could be an inch or more per hour in some spots right during Tuesday morning's commute, cutting through the middle of the state. Warm enough perhaps for some rain over down East Maine, Cherryfield, Eastport, Calais, but surface temperatures may be cold, so this could be some freezing rain down in here. So it would cut down on your snow totals, but it may make for a real icy Tuesday morning commute. So Tuesday morning is kind of what I'm honing in on as the biggest impact. And then Tuesday afternoon, we start to lift this out. It'll still be snowy midday Tuesday in Waterville and Bangor, but we'll lighten it up in western Maine. And then Tuesday evening's commute should be much improved. By that point, the roads will have been treated for a couple days in southern Maine and for at least a day or so in central and northern Maine. So I think Tuesday evening's commute will be a lot better. I have not changed the snowfall forecast just yet. I don't think any changes are really needed in southern Maine. The one place I would watch is the Central Highlands, maybe Waterville, Bangor. Depending on how impressive that Tuesday morning burst of snow is, there could be some spots in here that get 8 inches or so. But I didn't really want to change anything yet because that's still 2 days away, your heaviest snow. So if we have to make that change tonight or tomorrow morning, Mike or Todd will do that. I just don't think it doesn't change the overall impact. It just changes perhaps how much you'll have to dig out Tuesday afternoon. Southern Maine, this is from two pieces. It's from what comes tonight and it's from what comes Tuesday morning. So you might be wondering, how much will be on the ground tomorrow morning. This is a computer model example of how much may be on the ground by 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let me go back. Here it is. 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, we've got nothing on the ground in Waterville and Bangor. Some flurries or a trace up to Lewiston and maybe the mid-coast. But again, you really have to be in York County, southern Cumberland County, and southern New Hampshire to have your morning commute impacted by accumulating snow. So that's 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. How about we'll advance this through to tomorrow evening. The model's spitting out 4, 7, 8 inches. I think the snow lightens up enough during the day that maybe this is a bit overdone. But again, the idea is that even at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, there still really isn't much on the ground in central Maine. It's overnight tomorrow night and into Tuesday morning that you end up getting the most snow in this part of the state. And that's what gets you up to 6 inches or maybe more. I think this model is a little too aggressive, but I'll show it just so you have an idea. The potential is there for over 6 even in eastern Maine. I don't think it'll be 13 in Bangor or 11 in Waterville, but tonight or tomorrow morning we may have to tweak these totals up in this part of the state if that Tuesday morning burst still looks impressive. The mountains, by the way, are probably too far away from both rounds, so you kind of miss the heaviest on both ends. You miss tonight and then you miss Tuesday morning. So I will get to your questions. Just to summarize, I made this morning to show on TV, and I think it kind of does a good job just summarizing the commute impact from this storm. Tomorrow morning, you really have to be in Cumberland, York, or southern Oxford counties to have any type of substantial impact from the snow on your commute. Tomorrow evening, southern Maine still impacted. We start to get the snow into central Maine, so I've got it in the low impact category. There could be some slushy, snow-covered roads. You'll have to take it slow, but travel won't be awful. Tuesday morning, though, I'm starting to think that burst of snow we get Tuesday morning is impressive enough, it is heavy enough, that we have a high impact everywhere. Chance for school delays and or cancellations just about everywhere Tuesday morning. So it's a long, drawn-out storm. I know you're probably sick of hearing it. I'm kind of sick of talking about it at this point, and it hasn't even started to snow yet. But I hope that timeline makes sense, because it really does depend on where you live in terms of how much you're going to get out of this. So I'll take a look at the comments. I'm not going to get into how much in X town, how much in Y town, because you can look on the map here and that's there. You can also get it on our website if you need to zoom it in. But I'll try to answer some more specific questions if you have it. Terry can't wait for Storm Center music. All right. Melissa says, I wonder if the storm will worsen if they sleep with spoons under their pillows. It's funny. Jess Conley and I used to talk about how we did that as kids. So it worked then. I don't know if it works now. Ice cubes in the toilet. I never heard that one. Nicole says first snow day maybe. Nicole is in Somersworth, New Hampshire. I think Somersworth, New Hampshire has a good shot at a snow day tomorrow. And I got to be honest, Tuesday it's possible too. It's not a guarantee, but I think Somersworth is in a good spot for at least one snow day. People wondering about the density of the snow, how heavy it is, and I always forget to mention this. It doesn't look like it's going to be light and powdery, but it shouldn't be the wet, clingy snow that we saw in some places last Wednesday night that knocked out power to people. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but I'm not crazy concerned about outages. Maybe you can never rule out some, but I don't think it's a big deal. Do I expect any delays in Bath? I got to be honest, Bath tomorrow morning is one of those places where you're just going to have to see what the radar looks like in the morning. You're going to be right on the edge, maybe flurrying or some light snow, enough for a little coating, but you're not in Cumberland or southern Cumberland or York County where it's more of a guarantee. Tuesday morning, though, I do think in a place like Bath, when we get that second surge of snow, there's a higher chance of some delays. Oxford looks like school Monday, but not Tuesday. I can't really make the call. I think Oxford on Tuesday could be able to get away with a delay because Tuesday afternoon will be better, but we'll see. Tomorrow morning, it does look like Oxford is north of where the heaviest snow is falling. Steve asks, are my totals per storm or from the beginning until it's done? This is from the beginning until it's done. In the past, I've broken it up, and I can go 50-50 either way on whether I like that or I don't. We did it one time last year, and Keith didn't like it. So sorry, Keith, if you're watching. But I didn't want to complicate things and change it up. So this is one map for the entirety of the event, starting tonight, going through Tuesday evening. And again, most of this in southern Maine is on the ground by Tuesday morning. Up here, you really have to wait for Tuesday morning for it to fall. And that's why I said, in here we might have to add another 6 to 10 contour or something like that if Tuesday continues to look impressive. Traveling Raymond to Oxford should be okay all day till approximately 2 p.m. Okay, till 3 p.m. All right. I think you can travel tomorrow morning, midday. In the afternoon, it does look like some snow will start to fill in. So it kind of depends on your driving ability. If you don't want to deal with any snow, then, I'd avoid traveling tomorrow evening. Tuesday morning does look like the biggest travel impact, though, area-wide. Phippsburg, right on the line. Any idea? I've got Phippsburg in 3 to 6, but you'll probably get some mixing for a while Monday night and then change to snow Tuesday morning. But Phippsburg tomorrow morning, it's just light stuff, if anything. I don't think there's too much accumulation. Sandro, looks like no school in Saco Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, Saco's the spot where you could have 2 snow days out of this. You could. You'll have to wake up and see tomorrow morning what it looks like. In Wiscasset, the total hasn't gone up then down. That must have been when I was showing the model. I was just covering stuff up. But yeah, there is probably going to be a little sleet that mixes in, and that's taken into account. You'll get some ice mixed in Wiscasset. Do I think the road crews will be able to keep up with the pace of the snow? Yes, I do. The only time where it may be real difficult would be Tuesday morning, like 4 to 8 a.m. or 5 to 10 a.m., especially central Maine. That's when the heart of the storm will be. Mary Beth, you've got a tough question. When will the lull be in Westbrook and Portland? It's tough because Portland and Westbrook are right on the line. I'd say from mid-morning, 9 o'clock, through early afternoon, it lightens up. And a coating to an inch or two in Portland and Westbrook before the lull, and then you get more on the back end. But it's so close. Sometimes there's just inherent uncertainty, and I can't be that specific. And this is one of those times because you're right on the line the entire time. So, I'm always going to be honest with you, and if I can tell you more specifics, I can. If I can't, I'll be honest then too. We are traveling south Tuesday or Wednesday. If we left at night, would we be good? Yeah, if you left Tuesday night, this is pretty much a done deal. This storm is strange. It is like we are getting the snow. The second part of the storm, Lorena, is a nor'easter in a sense. It's not classic, though, since there's this first wave and then this second wave, too. Oakland, Waterville, 3 to 5 p.m. tomorrow, drivable. I think so. There might be some light snow, Oakland and Waterville, 3 to 5 p.m. tomorrow, but I don't think it's heavy. As long as you're comfortable driving in some snow, I think you'll make it. If you hate snow at all costs, then would be better to avoid, but shouldn't be too heavy. John asks, there's no way rain will punch in and keep the totals down. It could over down East Maine, but I've kind of taken that into account. That's why we never had 6 to 10 inches for Hancock and Washington counties or something like that. That's why we've always had it low for down east, because there could be some mixing that holds you to 3 or 4. I live in Maine. I have to leave for Connecticut tomorrow. When would be a good time to leave? I don't have a great answer on that one. Are you trying to leave today or are you trying to leave tomorrow? If you can, send me a message on my page and I'll get back to you. I'll have to look more closely. We're flying into Portland tomorrow morning. Will the snow be heavy then? I think you probably get in okay, because we talked about that lull that kind of happens middle of the day tomorrow. Commuting Tuesday evening 5 to 7, Rockland area is fine. The snow is gone by Tuesday evening. Starting in Bangor, Mary, it takes until late afternoon tomorrow, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is one of those storms where I can't really give an exact time, though, because it's moving so slow. But I'd say late afternoon toward early evening, you'll get some snow in Bangor, some sleet. Not too heavy, but could be enough to coat the roads. All right, so I think I've exhausted as many questions as I can. You can go to our website, newscentermaine.com. There's a blog with all these graphics there. There are like 10 screenshots of the timeline. So you can see how this breaks down for where you live. Mike is in tonight. He's got an update then. And then Todd and I will be in tomorrow. I'll probably be down in York County, maybe Sanford or the Berwicks tomorrow, because they'll be closer to where the highest impact will be. And then I imagine I'll be back out in it Tuesday morning too. It's just one of those storms. So have a great day. Have a great weekend, everybody. If there are any updates between now and this evening, we'll get them online on our website and on our app. But Mike is on deck next, and he'll see you this evening. Have a great day.